everyone, Bob back, and I'm here with the playthrough of Final Fantasy V for John Fiesta. We last left off Angels and his friends were at the ship graveyard. Their ship drifted here after Syldra got pulled into the whirlpool by that monster in the Torna Canal. So now we're stuck here in the ship's graveyard where all the ships end up when they get scuttled. And it's a very dangerous place. We have a bunch of undead monsters here, and a bunch of like traps we gotta like navigate. So yeah, but not too dangerous. So if you have like a white mage, you can use like cure magic on these guys, but we just don't have that. So we're just gonna hit the stuff with our swords. So speaking of white mages, that flail is a really good weapon for the white mage. It can do like massive damage sometimes. So you see, we'll get good use out of that in my next job Fiesta, because my class will be the white mage. So a lot of times it looks going to be like dead ends, but you got to interact with the environment to go through some of these areas. So like for instance, there we got to the dead end. We hit the A button and like a bunch of stones appear. So sometimes we have to open treasure chests and do a bunch of things like that to make the way forward open up. And take a quick detour here, grab this tent. Luckily, this is still like a beginner dungeon. We're going to have a halfway point, like a save point and a resting point, so. Do you want to go through here? We're gonna get all wet. What are you saying? Let's go. Faris is afraid of water? That's not good for a pirate. Not too many new enemies here. See that treasure, that crate there? It has a skull on it. You'd think you'd want to stay away from it, but we don't actually touch that crate because we get 900 gold, so. Now we got the card cursor there, the water elemental up there on the top, and then the undead rusk over there. Both of them, they can drop elixirs, and elixirs are like really good. Not necessarily right now because we have low hit points. Basically, they restore your entire hit points and all your magic points. So it's like an in for one character. So the fact that some of these enemies early in the game drop it, that's like pretty good. So yeah, if you wanted to like farm enemies or ability points, this is a good place to do it because they can get those good drops there. So, but for us, we don't use magic points, so elixirs ain't really important for us right now. And hit point wise, we can just restore with potions. So, gonna take a quick detour up here, go down into the water. There's a treasure chest here. I'm gonna grab it. Another phoenix down, and then we're just gonna head back to that. I took the wrong way the first time, and head down to here. And we don't got too much further to go until we can, you know, refresh. So if you want, like I said, if you want to farm those enemies, try to get elixirs, do it like around here now, because pretty soon we're going to get to the halfway point of the dungeon, and we'll be able to, we'll get a free rest there, sleep. So, pretty much once you get through here, we're out of the water, and this is where we get our free inn, and we're going to learn a little bit about Faris here. Man, I'm soaked. This place seems safe. Let's take a rest. So Lena's gonna go change, and the boys are gonna stay out here and dry off. Angels will start a nice fire here. Come on, let's dry our clothes. I'm fine. Really. I'm just fine, really. How can you say that? You'll catch a cold. Don't want to get pneumonia. He'll drag Faris over to the fire. Stop that! Hey, I said! Uh-oh. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, I just asked that. Lena, Faris is a girl! So that's why she was getting targeted back in the canal. Remember they said that the monsters only target women? That's why some of them were targeting Faris. Another clue that we get is, watch their battle sprites. I was found by the pirates when I was little, and they raised me. And you pretend to be a man? A female pirate would just get laughed at. I knew you were too beautiful to be a man. That's why they were kind of smitten with her in the inn back in Tool. Hey, just remember that being female doesn't make me less important. We'll get over it. Time for bed. So as I was saying, watch the battle sprites. Angels and Galuf both kind of have red armor, reddish armor, because they're male. And then if you look at Lena and Faris's armor, it's blue. So that's your other clue that she's a female. Slept well. All right, let's get going. So we have equal gender representation here in the party here. What are you doing? Let's go. Oh, Galuf. I still think Faris seems like a man. Who cares? Faris is Faris. Yeah. She's actually the most balanced of our characters, like stat-wise, if you look at the stats, the distribution of stats. And we got a little save point here. Save our game. It's a little further back from where the boss is, but there's a boss coming up here. They can be kind of tricky. Alright. Not too much more further to go. After this point, we can start running into the final enemy in the area, this Psycho Head monster. So, yeah, there's not too many new monsters here. They got those Card Cursors, the Skeletons, the Undead Rusks, and then the Psycho Heads. And I want to make sure we grab that map up there in the corner, because now once we get out into the overworld, we can press the Y button and that brings up the map. Well, like in Final Fantasies 1 and 2, you had to press like B select to bring up the map. In here, you just have to press the Y button once you have the map. So we got the map. So let's grab these rest of these treasures here. These are the last treasures in the area. And here's the last new enemy in the area, the Psycho Head. If you have like ninjas, they got a really good thing there, the Flame Scroll. Basically casts like a Fire 2 type spell on all the enemies. No. Well, we don't have ninjas. We already used them in a previous Fiesta. I think from 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago we had them. So. Alright, finish them off. Now we all the enemies here in this area, so. Alright. And we're almost through at this area, so. Alrighty. It's gonna look like we're gonna have a dead end, but there's gonna be a treasure chest. We have to open that treasure chest, and that'll, for some reason, make a ship appear. So, don't ask me how that happens, but it's a magic chest. Press the button, and once we get to the stern of the ship, we want to want to heal ourselves up. Because once we start jumping on those rocks, we get into the boss encounter. So stern is the back of the ship, because S is near rear for R, and bow is the front, because when you bow, you bend forward. So that's how I remember bow and stern. I learned that when I was working with the Coast Guard. So my dad learned that when he was working with the Coast Guard. I don't work with the Coast Guard, I'm a rat. I stay at home and play video games and tease my brother Bob and my sister Guinevere. Angel, come here, honey. Mom? Wonder why Angel's mom is here. Hey, and there's King Tycoon. Come here. Father? And Faris is going over there too. I wonder why that is. Well, we'll learn maybe a little bit later. And then now, who's gonna call Galuf? Looks like a little blonde girl. Grandpa, come over here. But remember, Galuf don't remember who he is. Who are you? I can't remember. So yeah, this is where his amnesia comes into play, and it basically saves the party. Here's our boss. Let me take your souls. Join us. Who the heck are you? Why won't my spell work on you? I am Siren. I have taken the souls of these three. If you don't try to hinder me, I'll let you go. Sorry, but I can't do that. Why do you protect these three? Because they're my friends. Don't be fooled by her. Open your eyes. He slaps everybody awake, and that breaks the siren's spell. The siren was a creature in Greek mythology. It would like summon sailors to their doom, so I guess it's kind of fitting here. Although the siren in the mythology was a bird body and a human head, which is different than this siren, but still does the same thing. She basically summons sailors to their doom. Now, siren has two forms here. The regular form right here is weak to physical attacks, strong against magic. So we're going to do a lot of damage with our knights during this phase. Now, we want to defeat it on this phase because it drops the bronze armor. We can buy bronze armor later, but bronze armor, in the undead form, it drops the bronze shield. We'd rather have the armor because the armor is more expensive. And shields, we're not going to really be using shields a little bit later anyway. So now, then she's going to turn into an undead here. When she's undead, she's strong against physical attacks, but weak against magic attacks like fire. So we don't have fire, but we do have cure potions. So we can just throw a cure potion on these on Siren, and it'll deal damage rather than heal hit points. So for 50, so that's actually going to do more damage than our swords will do because the undead form is strong against physical attacks. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to. We're going to have to wait another round. We won't be able to do enough damage. We just barely avoid finishing it off. So we have to go through 2 rounds of being undead. I mean, I could have just defeated it earlier, saved some things, but I wanted to get that bronze armor. But I probably wasted more money with potions, potions that I used to save up. One good thing is when Siren changes back to the form, we're doing full damage again. That armor spell that she used on herself doesn't work. It just removes itself. So yeah, we're back to doing full damage. Like I said, I got her down to 10 hit points remaining, and I would have been able to finish her off. But unfortunately, she changes. Yeah, she put Leonard asleep there. She would have done Faris. That would have been a little better because Faris is slowed anyway. So yes, now we're kind of stuck. Unfortunately, the our guard command ain't really gonna do too much because she mainly uses a lot of times she uses magic attacks in this form. So we just want to keep ourselves up. Remember, whenever you fight a boss, you want to make sure all your characters are around because bosses give a lot of AP. So I'm going to move everybody to the back row just to half damage because we only need to do 10 more damage to Siren here to finish her off. So I'll just temporarily move myself into the back row to avoid damage. Because one hit, like I said, only has 10 hit points left, so one more hit will finish her off. Even from the back row, where damage is halved. And because we defeated Siren in her real form, we get the bronze armor. We're able to buy bronze armor in the next town, but like I said, it's more expensive than the bronze shield. And eventually, our third ability that we get with the knights is called double hand. And that way, you use your sword with 2 hands, so we won't be using shields. But we'll be hitting like twice as hard because we're putting both arms behind our swings. So, thanks to Gallop, we are safe. We'll give Angels the bronze armor. Like I said, we'll get some more, but ooh, I've got to use an antidote there. Heal up Faris. There we go. And here on the overworld. Because we picked up that map in the ship's graveyard, we can press the Y button and that'll bring up our world map. I'll do that in a little bit here. First, we've got a new enemy here, Tattoo. Not that Russian band that's saying all the things she said. I don't know if they sang any other songs, but my daddy knew that song growing up. So, there's like 2 Russian girls, a redhead and a brunette. And that's a big song, all the things she said. So, alright, finish them off. Some experience. And so all I have to do is press the Y button, bring it up, and anywhere there's a dot, that's a point of interest. So there's a dot down to the south, and then to the northeast. The northeast is the new dungeon. Can't really do anything there until we do some trigger sequences in the town. So we're gonna head to the town anyway. The video's getting long, and we want to heal up there. So let's head to the town. Not gonna talk with anybody here. We're just gonna buy some equipment, stay at the inn, and then the next episode, that's when we'll actually start talking to the people and finding out what we need to do. First things first, we're going to want to buy an upgrade. We're going to buy the Regal Cutlass, buy 4 of them for all our characters. Give a good increase. You see there it says Magic Sword and Double Grip. Magic Sword is what the Mystic Knight uses, so that you can enchant it with magic. And Double Grip means you can use it with the 2-hand thing that we're going to get later on. So just look at the weapons when you buy them and see if they're compatible with certain abilities. We won't be able to afford all the armor that we want, but we'll try to get as much as we can. Since flail is used by white mages and we don't have white mages, we can just sell it here, get some money. We could probably sell those ethers too, but we just kept them around. So buy helmets for everybody. Looks like we bought 2 more bronze things. Like I said, shield is the least important, because eventually we're going to not be using shields when we get the double grip. So maybe we can afford the other piece of armor when we sell some of this stuff here. So all the leather stuff. No, we're still going to be a little short, but that's okay. There's some treasure that we can get in town. There's 1,000 gold in one of the in the pub that we can pick up. So at that point, we'll just grab that and then come back and finish up our shopping. So we just need this here. 1 more bronze armor for Faris, and then we can maybe get the bronze shields. So basically, we need like about 1,600 gold about. So we'll probably have to maybe sell some of those ethers. So. But we're not a magic class, so it don't matter. And now we're just gonna head to the inn, heal up, and that's what we'll pick up in the next episode. So we'll learn more about what we need to do and where the party's gonna go from here. So thanks for following along. Take care, and appreciate your support. Like I said, if you're enjoying this playthrough, feel free to make a contribution to Small Angels Rescues. Help them out. So take care. Have a good day. Bye.